Good morning everyone. Sir, we are the Group 1 reporters and we are going to discuss about the When Technology and Humanity Cross. By the way, I am Norhayati Ato and I am the first reporter of this group. These are the some objectives of the topic. At the end of this section, we will able to learn about youth. Explain a human rights-based approach to science, technology, and development. We will identify the key documents and their principles that ensure the well-being of humans in the midst of scientific progress and technological development. And lastly, we will able to discuss the importance of upholding human rights in science, technology, and development. So, let's define first what is when technology and humanity cross. This section discusses contextual documents that protects human rights and ensure the well-being of the human person in the face of scientific and technological developments. Indeed, if humans are to journey toward living the good life, they have to make informed choices in dealing with science and technology. Thus, this section draws from S. Rami Mukherjee proposals for human rights-based approaches to science, technology, and development. It reviews key principles from the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, key principle Universal Declaration of Human Rights, UNESCO recommendation on the status of scientific researchers, and UNESCO declaration on the use of scientific knowledge, and how these international documents position human rights in the intersection of technology and humanity. So, ano nga ba ang when technology and humanity cross? Ito ay tungkol sa pagtitiyak na ang technology at science ay ginagamit para sa ikakabuti ng mga tao, hindi para makasama. Kasi habang tumatagal or habang umuunlad ang mundo is may bagong invention. Kaya dapat na siguruhin na hindi ito nalalabag ang karapatan ng tao at natutulungan pa nitong mapabuti ang kanilang buhay. Ganun ang parang patakaran ng when technology and humanity cross. Imbes na masisira ang buhay ng tao is ito ay napapabuti nito ang kanilang buhay or napapadali ang kanilang mga buhay.
My name is Meros Diates, so I'm going to tackle about the human rights in the face of scientific and technological advancement are critical factors in one's journey towards eudaimonia or the good life. So human rights play a vital role in balancing scientific and technological advancement with human well-being. So to be precise, I will explain it in Tagalog. Ang karapatang pantao ay mahalaga sa pag-unlad ng science and technology. Ito ay nagbibigay sa tao ng kalayaan na tanggapin, tanggihan, o kontrolin ang mga bagong teknolohiya. Ang paggalang ng karapatang pantao ay susi sa pag-unlad ng isang lipunan na may responsibilidad at malasakit sa kapwa. Ang human rights-based approach ay naglalayong protektahan ang kalusugan, dignidad, kapakanan at pantay na opportunity sa paggamit ng science and technology. Ito ay nagbibigay daan sa pag-unlad ng tao at pagkakaroon ng magandang buhay. Ang mga karapatang pantao ay mahalaga sa pag-unlad ng science and technology. Isang halimbawa nito ay ang pagkakaroon ng access sa impormasyon tungkol sa kalusugan sa pamamagitan ng telemedicine. Ang telemedicine ay isang paraan ng pagbibigay ng serbisyo sa kalusugan kung saan ang mga pasyente ay nakikipag-ugnayan sa mga doktor o healthcare professionals sa pamamagitan ng teknolohiya tulad ng video call, telephone, online messaging, email, or mobile app. Ang benefits ng telemedicine ay access sa mga service sa kalusugan, sa malayong lugar, pagpapabuti ng kalusugan ng pasyente, pagpapataas ng antas ng buhay ng mga tao, at pagprotekta sa dignidad ng mga pasyente. At para ma-monitor ang sakit ng isang pasyente.
Good morning, everyone. I am Sarah Banaocor from BSBA MK2A. Today, I will discuss who is Esromi Mukherjee. Esromi Mukherjee, a senior lecturer in political theory and the history of religions at the Paris Institute of Political Studies, explained a human rights-based approach to science, technology, and development. So, before I explain the sentence, I will introduce first who is Esromi Mukherjee. Esromi Mukherjee, he is a doctor of philosophy or PhD, history of religions in University of Chicago, is a philosopher and historian of religions whose current research asks how the wisdom traditions in the history of philosophy can be marshaled to engage with the pressing crisis of our current moment. So, sinasabi ni Mukherjee, according to him, that human rights is based approach or nakabase lang siya doon sa science, technology, and also in our development. Human rights seeks to place a concern for human rights at the heart of how the international community engages with urgent local challenges. The UN Development Program characterizes this approach as one that leads to better and more sustainable outcomes by analyzing and addressing the inequalities, discriminatory practices, and unjust power relation which are often at the heart of development problems. It puts the international human rights entitlement and claims of the people, the right holder, and the corresponding obligation of the state, the duty bearer, in the center of the national development debate, and it clarifies the purpose of capacity development. So, yun yung sinasabi dito ni Romi Mukherjee na nakabis lang talaga siya doon sa nangyayari sa science and technology. That's all.
Mukherjee 2012 further that this approach identifies science as a socially organized human activity which is value-laden and shaped by organizational structures and procedures. Moreover, it requires an answer to whether governments and other stakeholders can craft and implement science and technology policy that ensures safety and healthy and livelihood, include people's needs and priorities in development and environmental strategies, and ensure that they participate in decision-making that affect their lives and resources. So there's actually key questions here. The number one is that, can policies balance scientific progress with societal needs? The second one is that, how can decision-making processes effectively include public participation? What role do organizational structures play in shaping science outcomes? So what we learn about this is that analyzing policy effectiveness in addressing societal needs, examining organizational influence on scientific research, investigating public engagement strategies in science policy making. There's actually policy implication here. The number one is that government and stakeholders should craft science and technology policies. The second one is that policies should ensure safety, healthy, and livelihoods. Policies should prioritize people's needs and environmental strategies.
Hey everyone, so for today, I'm going to report the Universal Declaration of Human Rights or UDHR. So bakit nga ba itinalaga or ginawa itong Universal Declaration of Human Rights? Ginawa ang Universal Declaration of Human Rights ng United Nations noong 1948 sa isang General Assembly. So ang mga fundamentals or ang mga basic na nilalaman nito is about human rights, freedoms, including the civil and political rights. So bakit nga ba ito ginawa? So sa General Assembly na yun, ginawa yun dahil upang patatagin, ipakilala, at bigyan ng importansya ang human rights at ang freedom ng isang tao. So ano ba yung mga nilalaman nito? The first is the Article 1 or the right to equality. Next is yung freedom from discrimination, Article 2. Next is right to life, liberty, and security, Article 3. Freedom from slavery, Article 4. Freedom from torture, Article 5. Right to recognition as a person before the law, Article 6. Right to equal protection under the law, Article 7. Right to remedy by competent national tribunals, Article 8. Freedom from arbitrary arrest, Article 9. And right to fair public hearing, Article 10. So, based sa mga artikulo na ginawa sa General Assembly about the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, basically, it talks about the human freedom or human rights. So alam naman natin na during the 1800s or 1900s, uso pa dyan yung mga slavery na tinatawag or yung mga black people na ginagawang alila ng mga mayayamang tao para ay pagtrabaho, gawing alila or kung ano-ano pa. Next is the torture, kung ano man yung mga ginagawa na hindi makatao, yung pagpatay, yung mass murder, or yung tinatawag na genocide, is nakapaloob dito sa Universal Declaration of Human Rights. So ano ba yung economic, social, and cultural rights? Una, ito yung right to social security, right to work, right to rest and leisure, right to an adequate standard of living, right to education. So ano ba yung mga additional rights na nakapaloob dito? Una is the freedom of thought, conscience, and religion, freedom of opinion and expression, right to peaceful assembly, right to participate in government. So, merong mga additional rights na nakapaloob din dito, bukod dun sa basic fundamentals na nakapaloob sa Universal Declaration of Human Rights. So, ang UDHR is nagsiserve siya as a foundation for international human rights law. So, hindi lang siya pangbansa, kundi pambuong daigdig na. Para naman maimpluwensyahan at mapanatag or magkaroon ng hulma yung human rights at batas globally. So, that's all. Thank you.
Good day everyone, I am Aliyah Keita Madlawer from Group 1. So my topic is all about UNESCO recommendation the status of specific researcher 1974, article number 4. These documents affirm that all advances in scientific and technological knowledge should solely be created toward the welfare of the global citizens, and call upon member states to develop necessary protocol and policies to monitor and secure this objective. Countries are asked to show that science and technological are integrated and policies that aim to ensure a humane and just society. So, sinasabi nito na lahat ng pag-unlad sa kalaman ng science at technology ay dapat na ituon sa pagpapabuti ng kapakanan ng lahat ng mamamayan sa mundo. So, hinihikayat dito ang mga bansang kasapi na gumawa ng mga patakaran at protokol upang matiyak na mangyayari ito, at hinihingi sa kanila na ipakita na ang science at technology ay isinaman sa mga patakarang naglalayo magkaroon ng mas makatarungan at makataong lipunan.
Good day everyone, especially to you sir. My topic is all about UNESCO Declaration of the Use of Scientific Knowledge 1999. Article 33. These documents state today, more than even science and its applications, are indispensable from the development. All levels of government and the private sector should provide enhanced support for building up and educate and evenly distribute scientific and technological capacity to appropriate education and research programs as an indispensable foundation from the economic, social, cultural, and environmental sound development. The UNESCO Declaration on the Use of Scientific Knowledge, 1999, Article 33, served as a clarion call for the global action to harness the power of science for sustainable development by investing in education, research, and equitable capacity building. Nations can address critical global challenges while fostering innovation and progress. Special attention to developing countries ensure that no nation is left behind, promoting a more inclusive and balanced approach to scientific advancement. Ultimately, the declaration underscores the shared responsibility of government, the private sector, and the global community to use science a force for good in building a better future for all.